American business schools are reinventing the MBA. About time. On a visit to New York in October, Mark Benioff, boss of Salesforce, compared Facebook to cigarette and backed the corporate tax hike to deal with the homelessness in San Francisco. If bad-mouthing a fellow technology giant and cheering the taxman were not heterodox enough for a billionaire entrepreneur, Mr. Benioff laid into American management education. It programs students to favor profit over the public good. This, he noted, is out of step with the new capitalism. Many deans concur. We need our students to be thoughtful about the role of business in society, particularly at a moment in time when capitalism is coming under attack, says William Boulding of Duke's Fuqua School of Business. Nitin Noria of Harvard Business School, HBS, reports how younger alumni and incoming classes want the place of work to reflect purpose and values. Jonathan Levin of Stanford's Graduate School of Business, GSB, talks of business schools' responsibility to recognize the societal consequences of corporate actions. Corporations, their leaders and owners, need to act, restore trust, he intones. America's business schools still dominate our annual ranking of the world's top MBAs, but the industry is being shaken up. According to the Graduate Management Admission Council, GMAG, an industry association, American MBA programs received 7% fewer applicants this year than last. Nearly three-quarters of full-time, two-year MBA programs reported declines from coast to coast. Not even the most illustrious ones were spared. HBS, located in Boston, and Stanford GSB in Palo Alto, both saw applicants dip by 6% or so. Schools face growing competition from overseas and online programs, and as Mr. Benioff critic implies, questions of hidebound curriculums. We are being disrupted left, right, and center, confesses Susan Fournier, Dean of Boston University's Questrom School of Business. When management education boomed in the 1960s, American schools taught mostly American students. As the world economy globalized in the 1980s and 1990s, so too did American curriculums and student bodies. Sangeet, who leads GMAC, now discerns a third wave. Improved schools outside America are letting foreign students study closer to home and future employers. Many offer cheaper one-year MBAs, popular in Europe but uncommon across the pond. Whereas 3 in 4 two-year MBA programs in America saw declines in overseas applications in the latest application cycle, numbers applying to Asian business schools rose by 9% from 2017 to 2018. A recent uptick in America's anti-immigrant sentiment is accelerating the trend. Americans, too, are cooling on MBAs. More than half of American schools report fewer domestic applicants. Soaring tuition costs, which have far outpaced inflation, put them off as much as they do foreigners. A top-notch MBA will set you back more than $200,000, including living costs. Even with the financial aid, many students are settled with $100,000 at graduation. The opportunity cost of foregoing 2 years' worth of paychecks is higher when the economy is booming and labor markets are tight. Weak demand has caused the number of full-time MBA programs in America to fall by nearly a tenth between 2014 and 2018, according to the Association to Advanced Colleges, Schools of Business, another industry body. Geoffrey Garrett, dean of the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, believes that a flight to quality is benefiting top institutions like his and their graduates. At non-wage compensation, and alumni often recoup their investment in a few years. Not counting signing bonuses, the average base salary for graduates of the five American schools with the highest earning potential was $139,000. Consultancies and investment banks, historically the keenest MBA recruiters, claim their appetite for holders of elite degrees has not diminished. A prestigious MBA puts a floor on your career, explains Kostaya, a 28-year-old consultant on leave from Oliva Wayne, which is paying for his course at Columbia Business School. Silicon Valley, which used to dismiss MBAs as overpaid know-nothings, has become less hostile. As startups grow into large corporations, they need managers to help run things, not just software engineers to run code. A survey of recruiters by MGMAC this year found that 80% of technology companies plan to hire MBAs, on a par with the consultancies 82% and financial firms 77%. Even the finest schools, though, are not sheltered from the forces buffeting business education. Global competition and new technology platforms enable a lower cost structure for the delivery of high quality courses. This forces a reckoning of the MBA value proposition, says. As part of that reckoning, Questrom has teamed up with edX, a big online education firm, to offer a full MBA degree online for just $24,000, less than a third of the cost of its on-campus equivalent. Better to cannibalize yourselves than let others do. As Mr. Fournier puts it, MIT's Sloan School of Management provides similarly affordable bundles of online courses dubbed the MicroMasters in areas like supply chain management and finance. These grant certificates, but the credits will be honored if a student one day decides to pursue a full degree. E2, an online education platform, is introducing deferred tuition schemes for some hybrid MBA degrees. It will share the upfront cost with its business school partners. Students will pay only when they get a job. It's not just how MBA courses are taught that is changing, so too is what they teach. Many budding woke capitalists agree with Mr. Benioff and demand to be taught business beyond the primacy of shareholder value. At Stanford, Loza, a millennial MBA student from Germany, knows that sustainable capitalism plays a more central role in European schools. Julia, her American classmate, laments how, despite some social, environmental, and ethical topics in its curriculum, core classes are still too finance 101. Some of their professors are not so sure. One graybeard at HBS estimates that a third of its faculty and many older alumni view the embrace of cuddly stakeholder capitalism as an unrigorous salt to political correctness. It certainly introduces lots of gray areas, Mr. Boulding concedes, but he says schools can at least provide students with frameworks for making choices. A new course at Duke is entitled Capitalism and Common Purpose in a World of Differences. HBS has made leadership and corporate accountability, which delves into the responsibilities of business to the broadest system in which it is embedded. Required the first year course with case studies weighing up things like the morality of looking beyond the financial metrics at Japan's government pension investment fund. Recording curriculums are being transformed in less lofty ways too. Employers who partly or wholly bankroll half of all executive education, which earns elite schools between $100 million and $150 million a year, want it to impart technical skills. In response, teens such as him, the newish head of Columbia Business School and an engineer by training, are bolting courses on data, analytics, and programming on the timetable. As their popularity rises, they may replace stodgy subjects. Columbia used to offer several courses on debt markets, but now offers perhaps one each academic year. Meanwhile, students have flocked to coding classes. The idea is not to turn business types into dolphins, but to prepare them to work with and manage a technical staff, says Mr. Recruiter for a for a big consultancy, affirms that tech savvy MBAs are very tech savvy. Richard Lyons, former dean of the Haas Business School at the University of California, Berkeley, sees the future in providing lifelong professional education as a service. Give alumni know-how on demand, searchable online. Scott, dean of the University of Michigan's Rose School of Business, is giving alumni tuition free access to executive education. The new step will come from insurgents, not the big MBA schools. Things management guru who formerly taught at HBS. He wants training benchmarks and standardized transcripts to make skills portable and universally recognized. At HBS, home to perhaps the most hallowed MBA, Mr. Noria accepts that the market for its traditional offering is shrinking. In a sign of the times, his school has frozen tuition fees. He sees a dramatic expansion for unbundles of online education who separate knowing, doing, and being. In time, he says, they will converge with bundles like HBS. Far from collapsing, he reckons, management education will be the richer for it.